Accra. Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Citi Prime News. The news is live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. My name is Zoe Abube-Eduardo. Coming up, NDC accuses Attorney General Godfred Yeboah Dame of peddling falsehood against Minority Leader Kaisel Ato-Forcing after suggesting he begged the AG's office to drop charges against him in the ambulance case.
To prove to the world that Ato-Forcing came to you to beg you to drop a case, which in itself will not be wrong or lawful. But we are saying you have no such evidence. We are daring you to bring the evidence if you claim you have.
Also coming up, Ghana Integrity Initiative calls on government to immediately terminate the revenue mobilization deal between the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited.
As civil society, we say the president should, as a matter of agency, direct that this should come to an end.
Still to come, High Court clears way for organizers of the Dumsoma Stop Vigil to go ahead with protest after court rendered moot an application for an injunction by the police.
The police insistence on us changing the venue, that the venue should be changed, we complied with Article 41I. So the police, on the back of the new letter submitted or a recent letter submitted to them, will have to arrange a meeting.
And later, Wager Municipal Assembly assures McCarthy Hill residents of ensuring the ongoing issues with inconsistent water supply is resolved.
One, they need to pump the water to that area, but because of sometimes the technical issues with lightning, it makes it difficult for them to pump water.
This bulletin is also live across our partner stations. In the Western region, we're on Premier FM 100.5 and the Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. Bono region, Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. Ashanti region, Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. Volta region, Akwini Radio 96.7 in Kpando and Heritage FM 107.3 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we're on Dasuma 99.1 in Yendi. Upper East, Word FM 88.3 in Zwarungu. Upper West, Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura, and in the Northeast region, we're on Eagle FM 94.1 in Wale Wale. Across the globe, you can hear us on citinewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, the National Communications Officer of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, Sami Jemfi, has dared the Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah Dame, to provide proof that the Minority Leader, Kaisel Ato-Forcing, begged him to drop the case. Ato-Forcing is facing trial over allegations of causing financial loss to the state in the procurement of ambulance worth 2.1 million euros. In response to claims by the third accused, Richard Jakpa, that the AG tried to influence him to testify against the Minority Leader, the Minority Leader mentioned that Ato-Forcing earlier made attempts to have the case dropped. But speaking to host of the City Breakfast Show, Bernard Avles, Sami Jemfi vehemently denied the allegations.
We cannot be quiet about it because this matter is sub judice. The evidence obviously will be put out, and we are daring Godfred Yeboah Dame. And this will be my last point, Bernard. We are daring him. We are saying Ato-Forcing has never met you anywhere, Godfred Dame, to plead with you to drop the case against him. If he did, it will even be an offense. And as a responsible Attorney General, you should have spoken about it then, and you should have taken him on then under the law. You didn't do that because he never did that. You are only raising this as a red herring to divert attention. If you have the evidence, Bernard Avila is waiting for you. Bring the evidence today. Don't wait. Bring it today to prove to the world that Ato-Forcing came to you to beg you to drop a case, which in itself will not be wrong or lawful. But we are saying you have no such evidence. We are daring you to bring the evidence if you claim you have.
He also refuted concerns that the party's decision to put in the public evidence of the AG seeking to influence the third accused against Ato-Forcing will prejudice the case.
there is a public interest, angle of the matter. Then there is a legal aspect of the matter, which is what is being heard by the court. Now, we think that it is in the interest of the public for us to know what this Attorney General has been up to, his modus operandi, which we've been talking about. And the evidence will shock you because it is not just about Attorney General. It is about higher ups in the judiciary. It is about close associates of the president. And when we put that evidence out, you will see the desperate length that some of these people go just to pervert the course of justice. And all the allegations we've been making about judicial manipulations and all that, you will see the smoking gun to that. And so the public interest consideration in this matter, in my opinion, far outweigh even the legal consideration in this matter, which is just the interest of Atofalson versus the Republic. This is very important. Look, we would need judicial reform as a result of this matter. Even reforms about how prosecution is done in this country when you see the whole gamut of evidence we have, which we'll be putting out. So we don't think that it will in any way prejudice or undermine the case of first accused. His lawyers have the right to bring an application for mistrial. I know they will be studying that option and they exercise it. I cannot speak for them.
Sammy Jemfi is the National Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress. The Ghana Integrity Initiative is mounting pressure on governments to immediately abrogate the controversial revenue mobilization deal between the Ghana Revenue Authority, the GRA, and the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. Audit firm KPMG, in its report on the contract between SML and the Ghana Revenue Authority, revealed that GRA did not receive appropriate approvals from the Public Procurement Authority as well as Parliament. The report also outlines that SML performed partially under the contracts under review. Executive Director for GII, Mary Ada, while commenting on the issues after the release of the report, insists that the deal has not been beneficial to the state.
It is a good thing that the report has been released. And I say it is a good thing because now citizens have the duty to also interrogate the report to see the nuances that were captured by the KPMG. And already we see some semblance of issues that were not captured totally in the president's white paper. And so the call that we have a reflection, a thorough reflection on what has happened is a very important one that we made happen. But as of now, we have indicated that this is a point when we see that the value for money for the transactions or for the contract obligations have not been totally beneficial to the state. And for that matter, as civil society, we say at this time, the president should, as a matter of agency, direct that this should come to an end. And thoroughly, apart from what KPMG has done, and it's a good thing that Parliament's Energy Commission has also assured that they are going to do a new interrogation. So I believe that at the end of that, we will all come to the conclusion that if this is not in the benefit of the state, then apart from what has already been cancelled, the whole should be done away with.
Executive Director for the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada. Now, the High Court in Accra has rendered moot an application for an injunction seeking to prevent organisers of the Doomsday Vigil from converging on Revolution Square opposite the Jubilee House after it emerged that organisers have already changed their gathering point and route for the vigil. In an earlier engagement with the Greater Accra Regional Police Command, the conveners disagreed on the starting point for their protest. The police later filed an injunction against them, stating that the location was close to a security installation. In court on Friday, May 24, the case was withdrawn to accommodate the new amendments to the venue. Co-convener for the Doomsday Must Stop Vigil, Selom Dramani Dramado, has been addressing the media.
The Revolution Square was actually the bone of contention between us and the police. So we decided to change the venue and also to change the dates, because they've chosen the Revolution Square. We actually told the public why we chose the Revolution Square. So the police insistence on us changing the venue, that the venue should be changed, we complied with Article 41I. So the police, on the back of the new letter submitted, or a recent letter submitted to them, will have to arrange a meeting or invite us for a meeting to discuss the modalities for this very one that we announced to the public through the police, of which letter they have received. There will have to be a meeting again. Given our activities with the police, they have become so predictable, and it doesn't look good on the image of an institution of that nature to be predictable.
Selom Dramani Dramado is a co-convener for the Dumso Must Stop Vigil. Now, the members of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union have suspended their sit-down strike. The union announced an indefinite sit-down strike on Tuesday, demanding improved conditions of service. The group has, however, suspended the action following assurances from stakeholders that a remuneration framework will be implemented in July. Sunday Alabi is the vice chairman of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union.
This is the reason why we agreed at the meeting yesterday that we'll come address our members, and this morning we have addressed our members, and this morning we are also addressing the press to let the public know that we are taking a different dimension on our strike action. That presupposes that we are suspending the strike. I repeat, we are suspending the strike based on these issues that we have tabled up, because by the end of July, when everything has hit the accounts of our members, we'll still come back to the press and let the press know exactly what our members are feeling, whether they are feeling happy or they are sad. We'll come back to the press and let them know. So from today, we are suspending the strike.
That was Sunday Alabi, who is the vice chairman of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union. Let's take you to the Ashanti region now, where police are investigating the death of a 12-year-old Emmanuel Opoku, who drowned at Tanoso on Wednesday. The deceased met his untimely death while attempting to save his sister, who had jumped into a gutter while they were playing in the rain. Speaking to the assembly member of the Tanoso electoral area, Aaron Nandi, he indicated that the deceased body has since been deposited at the morgue while the police carry out their investigation. He added that the sister of the deceased, who was taken to the hospital after the incident, has been discharged and is doing well.
The incident occurred at Tanoso electoral area around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 22nd May 2024. A boy and a girl. They were playing in the rain water. The girl jumped into the rain gutter to swim. When the boy saw that her sister was drowning, he quickly jumped into the gutter to save her sister. But unfortunately for him, he trapped under the gutter bridge. Helpers came and rescued the girl from the water, but we lost the boy under the gutter. He is called Opoku Emmanuel, or Yao, Opoku Yao. He is 12 years old. We quickly sent the girl to Tanoso Community Hospital for treatment, and she is now okay and had been discharged from the hospital yesterday. The dead body is still at the mortuary, and the police is still on their investigation.
That was the assembly member of the Tanoso electoral area, Aaron Nandi. You're still listening to Citi Prime News. My name is Zoe Abubeduado. We are coming to you live from our studio at number 11 Dr. Multi-Loop in Adabraka, Accra. Still to come in this bulletin, Wager Municipal Assembly assures McCarthy Hill residents of ensuring the ongoing issues with inconsistent water supply is resolved. Please stay with us. We'll bring you the details shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Are you a JHS student in Ghana? Are you a wordsmith with a passion for development? Do you have a way with words that captivates and inspires? If so, then join the Literacy Challenge 2024 now. The nationwide search for the most outstanding junior high school students in Ghana is on. Do you think that it could be you who goes home with 10,000 Ghana cities and a glitzy trophy? Then, in not less than 600 words, write about the role of the youth in shaping the future of Ghana. What changes would you like to see, and how can young people contribute to making them happen? Script must be in your own handwriting. Script must be endorsed by a parent or guardian. Add your full contact details. Deadline, Saturday the 13th of July, 2024. Submit entries to the front desk of Citi TV or Citi FM or P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. For inquiries, call 0205 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM, supported by Citi TV, and is sponsored by Ghana National Gas Company, Alive Soap, and Fortune Spread.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for staying with us on the Citi Prime News. Now, engineers from the Electricity Company of Ghana in the Ashanti region have begun working to restore power to some areas in Jache in the Bosomtwe district of the Ashanti region. Most areas in the Jache community remain without electricity following last week's rainstorm, which injured several people and resulted in the death of a 16-year-old girl. Businesses and households are already bearing the brunt of the power outage as affected residents intensify their appeal for power to be restored. Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Benjamin Obing-Entry, appealed to the affected residents to be patient while the issue is being resolved.
So on Thursday, materials were sent to site to ensure that the contractor can commence work as soon as possible. So as we speak, work is ongoing to construct a new network to serve the good people of Jache, to ensure that they enjoy stable power supply, because that is our mandate, to provide quality, reliable and safe electricity services. And also, in as much as we're causing an announcement, we're also educating the people in terms of safety, because once the cables were down, though we had decommissioned the line and there was no power in it, we need to be mindful of safety as well, so that nobody will get closer to the cable or the pole and all that. So as we speak, work is ongoing to construct a new network to restore power supply to customers within the Jache enclave. And we would like to thank our cherished customers in that enclave for their support. Because even yesterday when we took the materials to site, they came together and helped us to offload the poles, among other things. And then as we speak, they are even assisting the contractor. So we appreciate their support and their patience, because it's more or less like it's a dual effort between the company and our customers. When the power goes off, livelihoods are affected, and then company also loses revenue, because we don't take delight in disconnecting power supply, or when power goes off, we are not happy because we also lose revenue from unserved energy.
You heard there the Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Benjamin Obing-Entry. Now, the Weija Municipal Assembly has assured residents of McCarthy Hill in the Weija-Gbawe municipality that the ongoing issues with inconsistent water supply will be resolved. This assurance comes in response to numerous complaints from residents about acute water shortages affecting the area. According to the residents, the demand for water is increasing, but the supply is insufficient, which has made the situation unbearable for months. Municipal Chief Executive for the area, Michael Dankwa, says engineers have been contacted to address the problem and restore reliable water access to the community.
Somebody who asks, they generate a lot of water within the municipality, yet a lot of people, some of them are saying they are not getting water. So sometimes we look at it and say, okay, why are they not getting water? Okay, so I remember about 3 weeks ago, I called the engineer, the Ghana water engineer here, to find out why two places. I am told the McCarthy Hill, those are there. Apex are not getting water, so I try to find out. And also Apawija, part of also are not getting water. So I tried finding out, and my answer I got was that one, they need to pump the water to that area, but because of sometimes the technical issues with lightning, it makes it difficult for them to pump water. But once this thing is resolved, I'm sure people will not be complaining about water any longer. Because it is not fair if you are generating water here to other parts of Accra and those within are not getting water. So that one, they have assured me that they are resolving it. So very soon to be resolved.
Michael Dankwa is the Municipal Chief Executive for Weija Gbawe. The Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, has called for calm among teachers amidst ongoing agitations from teachers over delays in finalizing their conditions of service agreements with the government. Despite the government's efforts to address issues such as the scheme of service, teachers remain dissatisfied due to unresolved concerns about allowances and other benefits. In an interview with Citi News, the General Secretary of the association, Thomas Musa, expressed optimism, indicating that negotiations are progressing well and an agreement is expected soon.
We want them to be reassured that we're working around the clock together with the government for this to be concluded as soon as possible. We also want to place on record that we've been urging government that it is not in the interest of anybody, not even the country, the students or the people we teach, or even the country itself, to witnessing agitations all over the country every day. It's not good for anybody. And so we're urging government to ensure that as soon as possible these negotiations are concluded and that the document signed. And so our members, as we thank them, we want to assure them that the negotiations are ongoing, it is not broken, and therefore we want them to remain calm as we engage. Whatever it is, we'll get back to them.
That was the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Thomas Musa. Now, government is expediting efforts to stabilize the cedi amidst the recent free fall of the currency against major trading currencies, such as the dollar. Addressing a news conference today, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam highlighted collaborative measures with the Bank of Ghana to improve forex interventions. The Finance Minister reassured of the cedi's resilience, emphasizing sufficient forex supply.
The Ministry of Finance will continue to work with the Bank of Ghana to implement measures to address the rapid depreciation of the cedi. And some of the measures that we have already put in place, and I was told this morning that we are already seeing the results of the effect of these policies and measures we have put in place. So we are fast-tracking the fiscal consolidation process through rationalizing spending and enhancing revenue mobilization, intensification of the Gold for Oil program, and appropriate FX interventions by the Bank of Ghana. We are also intensifying through the Bank of Ghana the Gold for the Reserve program, what they also call the Gold Purchases program. The disbursement of the third tranche under the IMF program, which we are expecting in June, is also going to support the building of foreign exchange reserves, and also disbursement from other ongoing projects.
Dr. Amin Adam further indicated government's resolve to sticking with its post-COVID-19 program for economic growth to align with IMF targets.
We will continue to implement strong and ambitious structural reforms in other areas of public resource or public financial management, including tax policy, revenue administration, and other relevant reforms that will support the structural strengthening of our economy, as well as helping to address structural weaknesses and to enhance our resilience to shocks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are making remarkable progress towards restoration of macroeconomic stability and economic recovery. And we are not going to relent in spite of the fiscal pressures, including security spending to maintain peace and order. We are determined to hold the line to ensure that we meet our fiscal targets for the year. We will not hesitate to make any necessary adjustment that will ensure that we do not deviate from the fiscal path.
Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam is the Finance Minister. The National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, says it is committed to fulfilling its mandate despite being under-resourced. This follows concerns from some stakeholders on the amount of money allocated to the NCCE annually to undertake its mandate, which cuts across the whole country. In an interview with the chairperson of the NCCE, Kathleen Addy, she explained that despite the challenge with resources, her outfit remains committed to fulfilling its mandate.
In spite of lack of resources, I always like to emphasize what, as an institution, we are able to do, even with the little that we have. And I'll be serving the staff of NCCE very poorly if I don't highlight right now that they are among the most hardworking staff in the public sector. That with so little, they are able to do so much. Where they don't have cars, they walk. Where they don't have furniture, they make do. So it's important that we highlight that the work that is actually being done, because then it's not as if the staff of NCCE can be dismissed because they don't have money, because they don't work. It's not like that. That in spite of the challenges of the terrain in which they work, they are always putting in their best, and they are always able to do so much with whatever it is that they have.
That was the chairperson for the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Kathleen Addy. She's still been speaking, and she's urging Ghanaians to fulfill their part of the social contract by demanding accountability from the government. She was speaking with Citi News at a workshop organized by the African Center for Economic Transformation and NCCE.
As Ghanaians, a lot of us know our rights today. And so we are very assertive, we are very knowledgeable about what our rights are as citizens. And that is a very good thing. That was not the case at the start of the Fourth Republic. At that time, because of where we're coming from as a country, people didn't even know what their rights were. But today, everybody knows what their rights are. I was also saying that the gap is where we're trying to get people to also have a better understanding of your responsibility. Because as a citizen, it's not just about just having rights, but as part of the social contract, you also have responsibilities. You have a responsibility to be law-abiding, first and foremost. You have a responsibility to pay your taxes. You have a responsibility to be an active member of your community and to contribute to the development of your community. Most important task of the citizen is the responsibility to be active in holding leaders accountable, to make sure that they don't sway off the path what is agreed, and that they continue to be focused on developing the public goods that is required in the context of democracy.
That was the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Kathleen Addy. Away from that, the director for the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Professor Francis Boateng Ajenim, has called on stakeholders to champion green energy within educational institutions. This announcement was made at the Green Hydrogen Adoption Symposium themed The Future of Green Hydrogen in Sub-Saharan Africa, the role of communication technology and higher educational institutions, held at the Ghana Communication Technology University. During his presentation at the event, Professor Ajenim Boateng emphasized the need for stakeholders to prioritize solar energy in schools.
We need to begin to scale up, and the solar is so basic that at this stage, I think we should begin to think about solarizing our schools, solarizing our universities. We want the universities to pay electricity bill. Just give solar, maybe 100 kilowatts to DCTU. It will be amazing how much production they will achieve. And for the academics, please, you need to champion and communicate the benefits of green hydrogen and provide technical content, policy briefs. Policy makers need this. Since when did we submit a paper to the MPP or NDC about our position on energy? Have we submitted anything to any of these political parties to invite them? This is an election year. Put yourself together, develop your own policy where you think the energy direction should be, and invite MPP and NDC that if you don't sign to this, we will campaign against you. You will see what will happen. They will all run to you. We have got the power as academics, but we are not utilizing it.
You heard that the Director of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Professor Francis Boateng Ajenim, ending this bulletin of Citi Prime News, which came to you live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. You can log on to our website, citinewsroom.com, for more news. My name is Zoe Abubeduado. Many thanks for doing the listening.
Citi News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.